Hello, great people. Migrants in the UK and their family across the globe are currently disturbed as UK Conservative Party leader Kemi Badenoch has taken steps to restrict migration. You will recall that Kemi Badenoch has always promised that she's going to take tough steps to make sure that migration is restricted to the United Kingdom. She has said that UK is not a hotel. And in a moment, I'll leave you to hear from Kemi Badenoch to hear about her policy. Then we'll come back for some great discussion as regards this topic. But first, I must say something, which is that this video is for three categories of people. The first category is that, do you have a UK visa? If you have a UK visa and you intend to travel to the UK, or you've traveled to the UK before, this video is for you. Do you intend to go and study, to live in the UK or conduct the business in the UK? This video is for you. You don't have a UK visa, but you have friends, associates, colleagues, family members in the UK. This video is also for you. You don't have any family members in the UK, but you think that one day luck will shine on you. You too will have a UK visa, and that UK that everybody have been talking about, you too will get there. This video is also for you. So that means that regardless of who you are, this video is for you. Let us go and watch the policy statement of Kemi Badenoch. Then we come back for some very interesting discussion. Let's watch it.
Britain is our home. It's not a hotel. It's time to tell the truth on immigration and propose real plans to do something about it. I want to reduce immigration and make living here actually mean something. We need to change the way our immigration system works. So I'm announcing that the Conservative Party is going to do the following things differently. 1. If you want to stay in our country permanently and apply for indefinite leave to remain, the time you have to live here before you apply will increase from 5 years to 10 years. 2. You will have to be a net contributor with a high enough salary, especially if you want to bring family members with you. And if you've got a criminal record, you're banned. 3. If you've claimed benefits or need social housing, you can't even apply. 4. We will increase the time before you can apply for a British passport from 12 months to 5 years, meaning it will take a minimum of 15 years to start an application. 5. If you enter this country illegally or outstay your visa, you will be banned from ever gaining leave to remain or a passport. These changes, on top of a strict numerical cap on numbers, will constitute the most robust changes ever made to our immigration system. Lower numbers, secure borders, and an immigration system that finally works for the British people. This is another step in our plan to control our immigration system. If you agree, join us and let's get it done.
There you have it. You just heard from the UK Conservative Party leader, Kemi Badenoch. You will recall that Kemi Badenoch is of Nigerian origin because her father is a Nigerian. But Kemi Badenoch today is the UK Conservative Party leader. Now, let me address something before I give you some interesting perspective to this, which is that for some of you that usually display absolute arrogance and illiteracy, that when you watch a video you say, oh, it doesn't concern us, she didn't mention Nigerians there, so Nigerians are not affected. That is absolute ignorance, in the sense that she said migrants. Who are migrants? What is the status of Nigerians in the UK? Are they not migrants? Are Africans, are they not migrants to the UK? Are they British citizens? So one thing that we need to learn as Nigerians and Africans is simple intelligence. Let us learn how not to come and be displaying, what I can call sophisticated ignorance in the public domain. So if I mention Nigerians in this video, don't come to my comment section and say, oh, she didn't mention Nigerians at all, but you're mentioning Nigerians. What are Nigerians? Are they British citizens? Are they not migrants? So that is left at that. Now, let us look at something that is very concerning, which is that Kemi Badenoch said she said that before you can apply for indefinite leave to remain, which is that for you to be a permanent resident in the UK, that you don't have to spend 5 years in the UK, now you have to spend 10 years. By that 10 years, if you don't have white hair, that means that when that 10 years would have been complete, you would have white hair. That is what it means. Then that is the our first point. Then if you in that video that you just watched, the number 4 is that it has to be, it will no longer be 12 months. it will be 5 years before you can apply for British passport. So that means that if you have taken some certain steps and you are nearing the British passport, you cannot wait for 12 months again. You have to wait for 5 solid years. What is the justification and ratification in that? Do you know what it means to wait for 5 years? So that means that before you can be a British citizen, you have to wait for 15 years. Now, the annoying thing about this thing is that we have our own, a Kemi Badenoch, that our blood is flowing in her vein. She is the one that is now championing a policy that would largely affect many Africans. Imagine that. Now, before you argue it, before you support Kemi Badenoch, imagine that if a Kemi Badenoch had existed in the UK in the 1980s, we wouldn't have this present Kemi Badenoch, because the policies would have been so unfavorable in such a way that Kemi Badenoch herself will not even have opportunity to be who she is in the UK today. And don't forget that she wants to tighten the policy. Another person will come, will tighten it further. By implication, the opportunity that Kemi Badenoch has today, our children may not eventually have it. Because now you want to restrict migration. You have some reason why you want to restrict migration, which I cannot fault. But the way she is going by it, which is to increase something from 5 years to 10 years, that is double. To increase when you need to wait before you apply for British passport from 12 months to 5 years, that is, that is strange, sincerely. And Kemi Badenoch is not revealing the importance of migrants to the UK community, the population of Nigerians in the UK health sector, the population of Indians, Pakistans in the tech sector of the UK. She is not considering that. She just want to restrict migration. At the end of the day, if migration is restricted to the UK with its largely aged population, won't the UK be affected at the end of the day? So the most painful aspect of it is that it is not the white people now that is seeking to restrict migrants. It is somebody of black origin, an African by ancestry, that is now championing how other Africans will be restricted. You can imagine that. So, and that is why I have asserted times immemorial, and I won't stop asserting, that history should be made compulsory at all levels in school. Primary school, there should be a bit of history. Okay, should we say maybe the children in primary school, they may still be young, but secondary school, history should be made compulsory. History should be made a compulsory university course in Nigeria, at least to start with. History should be made compulsory, because if you don't teach history in school, parents, if you don't teach your children history, at the end of the day, you have people like Kemi Badenoch, because if history had been taught, Kemi Badenoch would have known that there is a reason why Africans are migrating to the UK, particularly African. Some of these countries that were colonized by the UK, that the UK, extorted them for so many years, and they exploited their resources. They took them as slaves. Now, the wealth is residing in the UK. Do you think that these migrants, that their countries no longer have the necessary wealth for them to survive in such a way that the financial resources, the economic situation in their country is no much favorable? Do you think they won't find their way to the UK, which is where the resources that have been tapped from their country is located? So if you look at it, there's a bit of lack of the historical dimension of all this slave trade, colonialism, on the side of Kemi Badenoch, because this policy, as good as you can argue that it is, I feel shouldn't be coming from a Nigerian. And I think Kemi Badenoch is copying the Trump approach, in the sense that the Donald Trump campaigned vigorously that that he is going to restrict migration. People voted for him. But what Kemi Badenoch failed to realize is that Trump policy may not work for her, because the dynamics of US politics is different from that of UK politics. US did not colonize countries the way UK did. And US do not have some strong ties with some of these colonies the way that the way UK did. And that is why at the end of all this slave trade, UK coined the word Commonwealth. So if there's truly Commonwealth, if Commonwealth truly exists, and that is why I said again, and I must say it again rather, that the importance of history, of teaching history, is very, even in UK schools, is very important, because if Kemi Badenoch is a student of history, she would have heard of the word Commonwealth and traced the origin of Commonwealth. Commonwealth means it is our wealth. It belongs to the wealth of UK, also belongs to all the countries that UK have colonized, including African countries, including Asian countries. So at the end of the day, if you now want to restrict migration, now is it still Commonwealth? And if UK has labor shortage, if UK has aged population, who should be the people to benefit from that? Is it not Commonwealth member nations? Is it not Nigerians? Is it not Malaysians? All these countries that UK colonized, are they not? Should they not be the one to benefit when there's labor shortage? Should they not be the benefit of migration to the UK when you have taken their ancestors as slaves? So, what is now the benefit of the word Commonwealth if you restrict migration in a terrible manner? Why not tackle the excesses of migrants rather than restrict it in a very terrible way, in such a way that a lot of people would be affected? Some of you will know what it takes to spend 1 year in another man's land, not to now talk of spending 10 years, all because you want indefinite leave to remain. That is a bit on the high side, sincerely. That's to my mind. And Kemi Badenoch needs to realize something, that she is not white. She's not white. Whatever strategy she wants to adopt, she can never be white. So you are championing the restriction of what white Britons allow people to benefit. Even the white that own their country, they've been prime ministers, they've been head of agencies and parastatals. They left it open that, okay, let migrants benefit because it is Commonwealth, like I explained to you. But you, that you are not white, you are now championing the restriction of what white Britons allow people to benefit. Can you be more white than the whites themselves? So for me, I think this thing can't work for Britain, because Britain colonized many countries, and Britain should not just come and restrict people like that. Because if I'm to be a president of an African nation, I will question Britain that, okay, what is now the meaning of Commonwealth? US can send people away, but the dynamics of US politics is different from that of the UK. UK colonized many countries. UK extorted many countries. UK took the resources of many countries. The ancestors of so many countries were taken as slaves. Where does that leave the descendants of those people now? Let us look at this thing very carefully. In fact, Britain, the United Kingdom, should be visa-free for Commonwealth nations. Should be visa-free if truly the wealth of UK belongs to other countries. Because UK have not paid our forefathers for slave trade. UK have not paid our forefathers for the exploitation of our natural and mineral resources. UK have not paid them. So in the true sense of it, we shouldn't even be collecting visa to the UK if truly it is Commonwealth. But let us now assume that, okay, you need to kind of like put some policies in place to make sure that you check people that are coming into your country. That's fine. That's okay. But then, if you are now toughening the stance of migration unreasonably, there is no longer Commonwealth. It is no longer Commonwealth. In fact, the UK embassies across Nigeria are sometimes ripping us, sometimes whereby you apply for visa and they won't give it to you. I remember when I was to do my master's in the UK, the day I went to collect my visa at the embassy, if you see people crying, if you see people that are rejected visa, many people will apply. At the end of the day, when people are coming for collection, maybe it is just 2, 3, or 4 people that they will give visa to. What about their application fees? Gone. And look at how much UK is earning from that alone. So UK should begin to think, and people like Kemi Badenoch should not distort history, because in the true sense of it, history should not be distorted. It's been an interesting time with you on this episode of Politin with Dr. Omosholade. Did you want to subscribe? Turn on your notification button, catch up with my past videos, and of course I have great interesting videos coming your way. Till I see you again, always remember that I love you all sincerely.